Hey guys, Chris here. You join me here in the 2021 Polestar 2 without performance pack on 19-inch winter wheels. This car has been requested for the longest of time by you guys, and finally I have it for only 2.5 days because Polestar only loan out their press cars for 2.5 days at a time, opposed to a week as every other car manufacturer. So I'm going to try to squeeze out as many videos as possible to make as much content for you guys. So hopefully 4 videos in the next 2.5 days of me filming, probably roll out in 4 days for you guys. But if you don't want to miss out on any of the videos, please go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, and also give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me, it really does help the channel, and it helps YouTube to push these videos to more and more people, motivating me to make even more videos. Today we're doing the cold weather winter range efficiency and charging test. We're starting here at Circle K in Furuset. We're going northward on the motorway, 130 kilometers to Brumunddal, and then we're turning back around to get back here. 260 kilometers on a motorway in the blistering cold. It's currently -4 degrees Celsius outside, but we should hit double-digit temperature. So we're just starting up here to 100%, and then we will be on our way. We are finally off Skjermøy. We have been on the road for 20 minutes now. You know, just moving out of Oslo, we had a bit of traffic. We have beautiful weather today, but we do have headwinds on our way north to Hamar and Brumunddal, between 3 and 4 meters per second. And I can hear outside it is very, very windy today. So, and we only went to 98% state of charge, because above like 92-93% state of charge, this car charges insanely slow. I mean, it doesn't have a kilowatt readout, but we were charging at 11 and 12 kilometers per hour, and that was with the heater running, guys. So that is insane. But we will, have to calculate at the end of the trip to consider that we only started with 98% state of charge. But guys, our consumption thus far is a bit high, 27.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but we are climbing. I think we're at an elevation of like 130, 140 meters now, but according to the navigation system, we should arrive at Mjøstårnet with 50% state of charge, and considering we started with 98% state of charge, we should be able to go back, and also we will have a tailwind on the way back. So guys, this is looking to be a very interesting test. 45 minutes on the road, guys. You can see our consumption is still quite high at 28 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That's because it is very windy outside. We're driving along Mjøsa now, and I can really hear how windy it is outside. So we do have strong headwinds today. You can see now that the board computer is saying we will arrive with 49%. That goes to show the strong headwinds we have, but I'm still very confident that we will be able to get back to Circle K, because on the way back we should have downhill and also tailwinds. But my initial impression of this car after being in a Tesla Model 3 long range for the past few weeks is that this car is very, very quiet compared to a Tesla Model 3. I mean, it just feels like it is a class or 2 above when it comes to NVH levels, especially road noise and wind noise is so much more subdued in this car. And then you have the comfort. I'm going to make a whole video about this later in the week, guys, but I just want to mention that it is interesting just hopping into this after those few weeks in that Model 3, that there is a huge difference. Everything it wasn't just in my head, it just wasn't in my imagination. We are now at our turnaround point, the beautiful Mjøstårnet, the tallest wooden structure in the world, actually. This is basically a skyscraper made out of wood and glass. Very cool indeed. Okay, so our consumption is now 27.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. But what will be interesting is to see the consumption when we get back, because we should have a tailwind. So, okay, let's put it into the GPS, Circle K at Furuset, and we should be able to get there with 2% state of charge. So yeah, let's go ahead and set off and check how good consumption we get on the way back. minus, oh, it just went away. So minus 10 degrees is the coldest we have had today on this stretch of road. And look guys, we have a beautiful, beautiful day today. The weather is awesome. But look at this guys, the trip computer is now saying that we would get there, we will get back at Circle K in Furuset with only 1% state of charge. And just check out our consumption is still quite high, 28.2. I hope this will go down because we are at an elevation now. We should, you know, go down to sea level again, and we should have a tailwind, but only time will tell. And also guys, there was an update, an OTA update about 3 weeks ago, improving the range of this Polestar 2. Polestar haven't gone out and, you know, said anything specific about percentage or kilometers or miles actually gained in range. They've only said that there is an improvement to range. So then you guys at least know that this car has the latest update that has been done. We are now 24 kilometers away from Circle K in Furuset. The car is estimating that we will arrive with 2% state to charge, and we can check our consumption now is now dropped to 27 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So it has dropped, and now we are, you know, starting the descend part of this trip. We're still at an elevation. You can see there is a bit of snow around here, and yeah, minus 5 degrees Celsius. So a bit milder temperatures, but we're now starting the descent. But it's not looking too good for the efficiency, especially compared to something like a Model 3. I think if we're lucky, we will get down to 26, maybe 25 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Okay, so we are now in turtle mode at 7% state to charge. The car gave us a message that we are in turtle mode, and that's totally fine, reduced power and all stuff like that. But what is annoying is that I'm not able to use cruise control when in turtle mode. That is not available. So neither ordinary cruise control, adaptive cruise control, or pilot assist 2. That really doesn't make any sense at all. Why do Polestar do this? I'm not you know, aware of any other EV manufacturer that does that. That is super annoying. Okay, we are back here at Circle K in Furuset. You can see behind me we have the station right there, but we're going to go to a different Circle K charger to do the charging test because we have to go to a tritium charger that has a kilowatt readout. These don't have kilowatt readouts, these ABB chargers, and this car doesn't have a kilowatt readout either. So, but I'm going to show you something a bit weird, guys. So you can see here, the car is saying that we have 0% state to charge, but just right up the road here, it said we had 4%, and then it jumped to 0, and then it jumped to 4, and then it jumped to 0 again. That is a bit weird, but the BMS is doing something a bit weird here, and I seem to be struggling with autofocus on this camera, guys. So if I put in, you can see here, Circle K Furuset, it says 2% state of charge when we get there. That is super weird. Look at that, guys. 2% state to charge, even though we have 0% state to charge left. So if I put that into the GPS, what will happen? So it says 2%, and this still says 0%. So if we just drive like a little bit, will this change? Will it change? No, it's not changing now, so that is a bit weird. But okay, guys, you saw that. So let's take a look at our consumption. Our consumption has now dropped to 26.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And you can see that we have done 260 kilometers on the spot and 102 kilometers an hour in average speed. So we're going to do some calculations at the end of the video to check out our theoretical range. But now we're going to go to the other charger to just see what kind of charging speed we do get without yo-yoing, just, you know, driving normal and driving to a low % state to charge. So the car is telling us we have 5 kilometers of range left now, even though we have 0% state to charge. You can see there's 0% state to charge, and then the car is saying that we will arrive with 1% state to charge. So which is it? This is a bit weird, a bit confusing that, you know, the gauge cluster isn't agreeing with the infotainment screen. Okay, so they only have two 150 kilowatt chargers here, but it looks like this I-Pace here should be ready anytime soon. I think that says like 97 or 99% state to charge. So just gonna wait here and sit a bit so we can connect to a 150 kilowatt tritium charger so we can see the speed we do get. Okay, finally guys, so funnily enough, the E-Tron was finished before the I-Pace here, which is to be expected. So let's see what kind of speed we do get here. Ooh, and I like these tritium chargers a bit better because the cables aren't that thick, though. This is maybe only a 150 while those ABB chargers are 350. So let's see what kind of speed we do get here, how quickly this will initialize, and if we will have any problems here. So interesting. Okay, let's see. Okay, 1% state to charge according to the charger, and let's see what kind of speed we do get. Okay, climbing now, but yeah, I guess we're gonna Colgate, right? Even though we've been on the road for several hours, we should still Colgate. So 55, yeah. Let's see if we do get any kind of speed here. Okay, 65 kilowatts there. Seems to be 64, the maximum speed we are getting. 65. So what will be interesting to see if this is the maximum speed we do get. Let's check back in at about 10 or 15% state of charge. Okay guys, so I just came back after buying something to drink at the gas station here, and I came back at 20% stated charge. We were charging at 120 kilowatts. I had to re-record the clip because my jacket was closed and the audio was muffled. But look at this guys, 108 kilowatts at 24% state of charge. What is going on here? Because we didn't get that speed initially when we connected to a charger. It seems like there is some active battery management here, doing some active heating, because if this was just passive, I'm pretty sure that we would have gotten slower speeds, because every other car I test which just has passive management, if we didn't yo-yo, we would have gotten slower speeds than this. So this is very, very, very interesting indeed. Okay guys, again, look at this, 39% state to charge, 120 kilowatts. 39% state to charge, 121. I must say that is impressive, because when I have done the yo-yo test with the 10 to 80% charging test in the XC40 P8 Recharge, this number isn't far off what I got then, and there's been no yo-yo testing now at all. I depleted the battery down to 0, and I was standing waiting here for maybe 10 minutes because all these taxis were charging here. So yeah, they must have done something. This must have been done with the update, because this is new. I mean, this is good. This is good. Even my E-Tron, after being connected this long, might only have gotten like 140 maybe at 41% state to charge, 135, 140. So this is impressive, guys. I'm impressed by this charging speed. So we are at 50% state to charge now, 80 kilowatts. So we're not going to do any more charging tests now. I will have my 10 to 80% state to charge speed and charging time test with the charge curve. But this is very interesting, and the reason I find this very impressive is because we have no preheating. We have not put anything into the charger, and at this rate we seem to be getting the same speed as we would have gotten with a Tesla Model 3 long range 2021 model with preheating. So that is really impressive. Okay guys, it's time for the conclusion, and yeah, So first off, we have our consumption. I have my notebook here. I've been taking notes all day. So if we compare this to the Model 3 long range I did the exact same test with, consumption is pretty, disappointing. Our average consumption, 26.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That did 20.2 on the same run, similar conditions. It wasn't as cold today. The coldest we hit today was -10. When we did that test, it was -11 at the coldest, and maybe just a few degrees colder, but very similar conditions. But what really, differentiates this from that car is that this does not have a heat pump. And I've spoken to Björn a bit, when we did our performance versus long range 2021 test, and he has this MC Hammer, which doesn't have a heat pump. I asked him, so what is the increased efficiency on the Performance 2021 with heat pump versus his 2019 without heat pump? And he said it's about 2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So, it's safe to say that even if this car would be equipped with a heat pump, our consumption would still be around 24 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And I've spoken to Polestar. They confirmed that there will be a heat pump version available in the future, but they don't know when. But we know that the XC40 P8 Recharge has a heat pump as an option, and this is built on the same platform. So hopefully before next winter, hopefully soon, maybe as a 2022 model year, but we just don't know yet. But even at 24 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, this car is still 20% less efficient than, or uses 20% more energy than an equivalent Tesla Model 3 long range. And with a smaller or even with a bigger battery pack, that would be interesting to compare, but we don't have that car yet. But we can look at the numbers today. So if we take that 26.3 kilowatt hour consumption and we consider we started with 98% state to charge, and then we came back with 4% state to charge, even though the car said 0, it said for like 20 meters before. And I showed you all of that thing with the BMS, with the gauge cluster not being agreeing with the infotainment system. I did some math. We spent 94% state to charge, and if you then take the range we drove, which was 260, the distance, and then you divide 260 by 94, and then you multiply it by 100, you get 276.6 kilometers of theoretical range. But what is very interesting is that if you do the other calculation where you take the available battery capacity, which is 75 kilowatt hours, and then you divide that by 26.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which was the consumption, and then you multiply it by 0.97 because you have a 3% heat loss, you get 276.6 kilometers. Yeah, so that is pretty conclusive in my opinion, is that the trip computer does not count heat loss in the consumption, and heat loss is around 3%, give or take. I mean, you can't get better than that to 1 decimal point. So theoretical range is 276.6 kilometers in this, which is about 50 kilometers less than the Tesla Model 3 long range, which had 335 kilometers of theoretical range. Not too far off. And if we consider that this car with a heat pump and Polestar keep improving it, if we get it like maybe within 30 or 35 kilometers of a Tesla Model 3 long range, well, there isn't too much in it, right? There isn't too much in it. So I am pretty impressed by this. And then we have this whole charging, session over here, where I think that they are doing something now after the update with the battery management and heating up the battery while charging, because the speed I got there is better than the speed I got after many hours of driving in last fall, late summer, when it was 14 degrees Celsius and it's currently -4 degrees Celsius outside. So something is happening. But that will be very interesting. I will test that in the 10 to 80% state to charge speed and charge time test, which will probably be my next video. So subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on that video. So this outro is a bit long. I'm trying to cut it short, but I just want to say the last thing is that the way this car drives, the comfort level, the NVH levels, Just the solidity of the car feels much better than a Model 3. So I am very impressed by this car. The front cabin is still, you know, very cramped compared to a Model 3. And then you also don't have any storage here, where the Model 3 is king of storage. And then I have managed to find a little bit better seating position. I don't have any lower back pains, though I don't sit as comfortably as I do in a Model 3. The seats are more comfortable, but the seating position in a Model 3 has more adjustment. The steering wheel has more reach and rake. You can't get it close enough, or then you have to, you know, put the seat forwards. But more of that in a different video. But yeah, I am impressed by the Polestar 2 today. I must say that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.
Cloudless skies in the